Alrighty, hey, Tony here, Random Adventures 2.0. What are we doing? Well, we're accepting the November challenge for Stealth Camping Alliance, which is a cooking challenge. So where did I come? I came to a butcher shop because I gotta get me a steak. Yep, because steak is on the menu tonight. So let's go on and get in to the butcher shop and pick out our cut of meat. Alrighty, here we go. We got our poorhouse, so that's what's on the menu tonight. All right. Hey, we gotta go get more stuff. Here we go. Hey, so we are back at the garden, and guess what? I'm gonna pick me some Brussels sprouts. We still got these in the garden, so I'm gonna cut off a little bit and take them along for our vegetable. Gotta have vegetables. Alrighty, so we are back on the road again. We're gonna head out to our spot that I found a couple weeks ago because it's got 4 walls. Well, I'll show you when we get there, but it's windy, it's cold, so I got the car all loaded up. I've got dinner planned, and we are gonna have a great time. All right, here we go, Stealth Camping Alliance. We've got our challenge set, and we are going to go for it. All righty, here we go. Alrighty. So, hey, we found our spot. We backed in here. We've got 4 walls. This is going to be great because it is pretty windy out right now. So, hey, I know we're stealth camping, and this is a great spot, but this is a cooking challenge. So, I got to get cooking. I'm going to get unloaded. I'm going to get set up, camp, and it is bear season right now. So, I left Billy Black Bear at the house, and Camp Hat too. So he didn't want to come along because it's bear season. So bear season started today, and yeah, I saw a couple cars on the way in. So I hope I don't get any visitors. All right, let me get unpacked. All right, so we are all set up, and I know my hand is freezing. My hands are cold. Oh my gosh, it's cold. But I'm going to tell you what we've got here in a minute, but how about we make some cowboy coffee, all right? So this is a cigar box here, and I brought it along because that's what's going to house our coffee, all right? So there's some cowboy coffee, and there's my hot hands. Oh, nice. I'm going to open one of these first. So you just want to give that hand warmer a thing there and just let it start to activate. All right. So we're going to take our kettle, and thanks to Dennis, he sent along this Sumatran coffee. All right. So there you go. You saw that on Mail Monday. So what I want to do is, Emma Brown mentioned, hey, why don't you make cowboy coffee? So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to take the kettle. We're going to pour this right in, and we're just going to make cowboy coffee. All right. So we'll get that going. That'll warm us up. And then, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get all this stuff going. All right. Get some water poured in here. For some reason I can't find my lighter, so we'll just use our Bushcraft fire starter. and get that started like that, and get our kettle set on there and get that boiling. So we're just going to pour that right on top. All right. And get my spoon and we'll dab that down just a little bit, get that mixed into that water. And then we're just going to let it boil. All right, we'll be back to that in a minute. Let's get that lid on. Lid put on. All right, so I'm going to get the official apron on. So we're going to, oh my God, you can see my breath. It's freezing. This hand, my stroke side is really giving me a problem. When it gets cold, it doesn't move to begin with very good. When it gets cold, it's even worse. So, all right, we gotta cut stuff with a knife. Oh man, okay. Get that tied up. All right, let's get back over here. All right, so we've got our steak from the butcher. All right, so it's going to be very important that we salt this steak first. So in understanding how to cook steaks, now we got a porterhouse. So a porterhouse on the one side, it's got a T, similar to a T-bone, okay? It's just a little bit different of a cut. And on the one side, you got the filet mignon. On the opposite side is the New York strip. They flank that T on that T-bone, all right? So what we want to do is we want to give this a good salting, because what that'll do is it'll pull the moisture out. Now, think, oh, what do I want to pull the moisture out for? Okay, so what we want to do is pull the moisture out and then let it sit. Okay, and it's cold enough out here that we can let it sit. This is like a refrigerator thing. It's like a freezer. So we want to pull the moisture out, and we'll see it get wet on top. And that's all the moisture coming out of the steak. But we're going to let it sit for probably a half an hour. And that moisture is going to go back inside, and it's going to dry out on the top. And that's going to give us that crust that we want. All right, so that's a new technique I learned. We're going to go ahead and implement that. Alrighty. Oh, that cowboy coffee smelling good. Okay, so here is our porterhouse. Look at that. So I talked to the butcher. They had a whole bunch of them. As you saw in that meat case, there was a whole bunch of them. But I asked for one with, what's the best one with all the marbling? And they picked this one out for us. So this is the one we're going to cook. All right, let's get it salted up. Let's check on our cowboy coffee and see how that's coming along. Oh yeah, that's looking good. All right, a little bit more. All right, so we brought along, actually this is very coarse salt. This is kosher salt. So we're gonna salt our porterhouse with a good liberal sprinkle, both sides, of salt. And this is gonna draw out the moisture that's actually down in the steak. And then what's gonna be cool is once it dries, you know, pulls all that moisture out, it's going to take the salt and moisture back into the steak. Trust me. All right. So we just flipped it, and we're going to give a little bit more salt on there. That's a lot of salt, but that's what we want. So we're going to take that steak and we're going to set it down and let that sit. Alrighty, so there's our cowboy coffee is done. Boy, that was boiling. We're going to set that aside and turn this off. All right, we got a lot of stuff to do. So I want to get some more water boiling because I brought some cauliflower, right? So what am I going to do with this? Well, I'm going to make cauliflower mashed potatoes, all right? I'm sure you've heard of it. So rather than using potatoes and making mashed potatoes, we're going to use a cauliflower and do that with that. And then the other thing, you saw me at the garden, I pulled out Brussels sprouts. So I got to cut these, trim these off of here, get them onto the cutting board, and get them split so we can roast them a little bit later. But right now, I've got to get some water boiling because we're going to boil down that cauliflower. So let me do that. And man, we got a lot of stuff to cut up. All right. All right, so we're going to use our new burner, and you saw that on Mail Monday. That is from Old Kraken Dated. Yes, so we're going to turn our gas bottle on here. Oh, that's nice. This one's got a little starter on it, and we're gonna set that there. We're gonna get a pot on there. This is a nice firmer spot. So it's more of a surface area to cook on. So we're gonna do our steak on this one. So we want to get enough water in there boiling to really boil down that cauliflower. So we got to get that cut up. So we'll get the lid put on that, and then all right. So here's our cauliflower. Voila! All right, there's the cauliflower. So the water is boiling. So we're just going to take all of our cauliflower and stick that right in that boiling water and let that go, because we got to get that tenderized enough that we can mash it, because we're doing mashed potatoes out of cauliflower. Yep. All right, so get all that in there and stick our lid back on, and then turn up the heat just a little bit. All right. So now we gotta get our Brussels sprouts cut off of our stalk. You know what? I think they'll actually pull right off too. Yeah. So let me just pull them off. I'm not gonna cut them. So I'll just give it a push with my hand, and I'm just breaking them off the stalk. We're gonna get some on there, and I probably won't do all of these. I'm gonna save some of them and take the rest of them home, and we'll eat them at the house. I think that's a good amount right there. Okay, so we're gonna use this Opinel knife to cut up our vegetables. This is a patented lockout system on the handle right here on the blade. So I'm gonna get that opened up, and I'm gonna start cutting with it. So I'm gonna take these Brussels sprouts, and I'm just gonna cut them in half. So I'm gonna take my time with these because they are a little tough for me with my stroke hand, but hey, we're gonna get it done. So we're just gonna split these. So I use my other hand just to press down on it, and we're just gonna cut them in half because we got a saute pan that we're gonna cook these in a little bit. But first we gotta get a lot of stuff cut up here. So we're gonna take our cowboy coffee. We're gonna have some coffees here. So we're just gonna pour that out. And all the grinds have settled to the bottom because we let it sit there for a while. So boy, this is gonna be hot. I gotta get my hot lip on. Okay, we're gonna turn this off. This has been boiling. Oh, that's good. We're gonna let that sit in that hot water there. So we're just gonna set this over to the side, and we gotta get our Brussels sprouts in a pan and just get them prepped and ready. So we're gonna use our fire maple pan for this, and that is going to be for the Brussels sprouts. All right, so we're just gonna scrape those right into there. Don't want to drop any on the floor. There we go. I think I lost one, or a half of one. All right, so we're gonna set this down over here. All right, so I get my hot lip on here. So that way I don't burn my lip. I have a tendency to do that. All right, so that's the hot lip there on this cup to kind of keep it a little cooler. So all the grinds are down in the bottom of that kettle. So that's pretty cool. I've never made it like that before. So I looked up how to make cowboy coffee, and there we go. All right, so salute. Oh boy, that's good. That is good. Nice and strong. Alrighty. So I'm going to enjoy this for a couple seconds and kind of regroup and regather, and I'm going to go ahead and cut up that the shallots. So we got shallots we got to cut up, and we've got garlic that we got to cut up, and we've got rosemary for the steak, and then this Irish butter, pure Irish, yes, pure Irish butter. Oh, look at that. Man, that's going to be good. So we've got that. We've got the griddle, or we got the cast iron pan. So I have high heat olive oil, or not olive oil, but avocado oil. So we got high heat avocado oil. I put it in these little containers. So we'll get that going. Man, that steak's looking good. All right, so yeah, you can look at all that marbling on that steak. Oh man, that's looking good. So that kosher salt is working its way down in there. I'm gonna just flip this over. Look at the other side. Yeah, that's looking really, really good. So all the moisture is coming up. You can see how wet it is right there. We're going to let that sit, and it might be another half an hour. So we're just going to let that continue to sit and dry out. That's going to be important for our steak outcome, right? So I'm going to go ahead and cut up these shallots and this garlic and then get that ready to roll. But yeah, the sun's starting to go down. It's definitely getting colder. It was already only about 28 degrees, 27, 28 degrees. So it's definitely getting colder quick. I'm just going to go ahead and cut them up, and then I'll bring you back on in a minute. Alrighty, well, welcome back to the program. So I got the shallots all chopped up, and this is garlic right here. So we got garlic, 4 cloves. Now this is rosemary, so we're gonna add that. And then look at all that butter. So I didn't use all of it, but I used a lot of it because we're gonna baste that steak once we get it cooked. We're gonna baste it, and you gotta baste it about 100 times. Well, I'll tell you more about that in a second. Alrighty, so we're gonna set the cast iron skillet right on there, and we're gonna get that heated up because we gotta heat that thing up probably about 400 to 500 degrees with that burner going, but that's heating up quick. Oh man, I should just leave my fingers here. All right, so let's get our avocado oil in there. In that pan. Get that nice and heated. So now our steak is nice and dry on the top. So I am going to grab a hold of it. And what we want to hear is we want to hear a nice sizzle when we stick it in there. And then just press it down. Now we're not going to touch that. Oh man, I got to heat my hands up. Oh, that feels good. Oh, that smells good. Oh, the one thing I forgot is my tongs. So usually I would grab them with tongs to flip it. So I'm going to have to use a spoon because we don't want to pierce that at all. We want to leave it unpierced with any fork or knife. We just want to flip it gently and get the other side done. But we want to wait for a couple minutes yet. All right, so I'm just going to grab this and flip it right over. You can see we're getting a nice crust on there. Put that back into the middle. Alrighty. Yeah, that's getting good there. So I am going to go ahead and put the butter, the shallots, and the garlic right in there. And rosemary. Everybody in the pool. All right. So here's where the job comes. Is we're just going to take and we're just going to spoon this up on there, and we're just going to give it a bath, and we're just going to keep pulling it up on the top. So that's why I got the spoon here. Just keep basting, and this, you want to do this about 100 times. So I think I've done it about 12 so far. So we're just going to keep putting that right up on top. Get it back down in the butter. Oh man, is that looking good? Shallots in there. Man, is that smelling great too. You need to spoon it right on top there. All right, so that butter's starting to burn a little bit. Get that flavor on there. So we're just going to keep marinating it. And then we're going to set it aside, and we're going to let that work and let that rest. And while that's resting, we're going to get our other stuff going. We still got to mash up our cauliflower as well as our Brussels sprouts. We got to get on there as well. Get my other hand working. Oh yeah. And now we're just going to move that to here. And we're going to take our Brussels sprouts, get our Brussels sprouts going there, and we want to take a little bit of that butter and throw it in that pan with those Brussels sprouts. So we get our Brussels sprouts going here. Where's they looking good? So we want to roast them, so we're going to keep them going on the pan, and then we're just going to continue to get some of these shallots and that butter and just get that right onto our steak here. Man, I tell you what, this is amazing. So, like I said, we want to rest this steak for half the amount of time that we cooked it. All right, so we don't want to touch it, we don't want to pierce it, we don't want to do anything like that. We just want to let it rest. And believe it or not, that's the hardest part, is letting that thing rest. Here, our Brussels sprouts are doing good. I'm going to go ahead and turn them off. We're good with that, so we're going to set them aside too. I'm going to put that over there on top of that. So we're going to get that on there, and we're just going to check this here real quick. Oh yeah, nice and steamy. That's still hot. So we're going to go ahead and mash those up while our steak is resting. And hey, almost bon appetit soon. All right, so we just want to put some butter in there, and then we want to mash that. So the only thing I've got to mash it with is my spoon. So I'm going to work on that for a while and take care of that. All right. All righty, folks, there we have it. So there's our Brussels sprouts, and then we've got our steak that has been basted in butter, shallots, garlic, and rosemary. Man, doesn't that look good? And then we've got our mashed potatoes made out of cauliflower and our cowboy coffee. Hey, we're ready to eat. What do you think? Pretty awesome. All right, so there's our steak. Now this side over here, that's the New York strip side. This side is our filet, which would be the filet mignon. And we're just gonna give that, oh man, that cuts like butter. All right, I've done that a little overdone from what I like, but that's not bad. I'll get that shallot on there too. Oh boy, that's just like butter, I'm telling you. All right, I like it a lot more medium rare. That's a little bit medium, but hey, it's a steak, and I'm gonna eat it. And oh my God, get a shallot on there. Oh, let's taste that. All right, so here you go. Oh, that's looking good, looking good. Oh man, I don't even care if I win the challenge. This is too good, too good. Oh man, this is good, 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 good. Then we got our Brussels sprout. So they've all been cut in half, roasted in that pan with butter. So fresh because they were right out of our garden. And then our cauliflower mashed potatoes. Oh boy, they look good, and they're healthy for you too. Good. So it's definitely getting dark. I'm halfway done with this steak. And man, I'm halfway done with the Brussels sprouts. I've got almost all the cauliflower gone. I'm just working on, I've ate the filet side. So now I'm working on the New York strip side. And we're getting that down to the bone. So there's not going to be any left when I'm done with it. Good, good, good. All right. So my coffee's getting a little cold, so I am going to heat that back up a little bit on the burner. And that way I got some warm coffee. And we've got a lot of coffee left in the kettle. So we're going to save that for tomorrow morning because that is the cowboy coffee that we're going to have with our breakfast. So yeah, we got our Louisiana crunch cake. That's what we're going to have for breakfast. All right. So man, I'm just enjoying this. And thank you, Sqwib, for making this month's challenge, November's challenge, a cooking challenge. Man, this has been a lot of fun. And I want to say thank you to all the Stealth Camping Alliance members for all of your support. And I just really love the community that we've built. And everybody from Josh with Hidden Hammock, Dick in the Dirt, Canadian Beer. There's too many to mention. All right. There's a lot of us. And I'm sure a lot of you are doing the challenge. So good luck on the challenge. And man, I got a lot to eat. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to get finished here. I am going to heat up a little bit more of that coffee. Boy, I'm waving that knife around. I'm probably going to drop that hatch tonight to sleep. But I think we got about a half an hour before it gets completely dark. We're already starting to lose light now. I'm going to get this apron off and I'm going to get that vest on, that heated vest. Oh, burn. All right. Bon appetit. Alrighty. So I am in the car. I've got the Mr. Heater. I'm going to turn the light on. So yeah, our Mr. Buddy's going in the front seat. I got the light bulb on right now, but I'm going to climb back in the sleeping bag. And when I do, I will turn the Mr. Buddy off. But it is going pretty good right now. And I do have a cookie sheet stuffed up above the headrest because that gets pretty warm up there. And that heat's rising right off of this Mr. Buddy, Mr. Heater. So it's doing really good. But I did close the back hatch. I zipped the canopy part that makes the canopy. I zipped that up. So I zipped it down so that encloses it. So the tailgate's still up, all right, but it's just zipped closed, all right. So kind of like you're in a tent, all right. So like I said, when I climb back there, I'm gonna climb in that sleeping bag. That's a very, very nice sleeping bag, very warm. So I'll talk to you back when I get back there. But for now, just gonna sit here and hang out in the front and do a little bit of editing. All right. I want to catch up to where we're at. All right. And I will talk to you in a little bit. All right. Lights out. I got my brake light on. I'm putting my brake light on so you can see the back. I just got up to use the restroom and I thought I would hop in the car and just start it a little bit and warm the car up. And then climb back in the sleeping bag. But that's got the brake light shining in the back. So that's what it looks like. Pretty cool. Alrighty. Get my hat on here. So yeah, it's about 1:15 or so in the morning. And I just wanted to show you the back here. I'm in the Subaru. I've got my pillow here. I've got the sleeping bag. I've got this heated vest on, but I don't even need it. So you see the debut vest. You can see I can push the button and it's red. That's 140 degrees or 145 degrees. That's too warm for me right now. So I can turn that back off. I don't need it. This is great. So I've got the mattress, the sleeping bag, the hatch is open in the back, but we've got got it zipped down. So, alrighty. Things are going good. I'm going to go to bed and go back to sleep, and I will see you in the morning. Alrighty. Lights out. Good morning. So, gonna make me some coffee. Oh, man, it's freezing. I think we're almost done with the coffee. Burr. A cup of coffee here, warm up a little bit, and then we'll make breakfast. It's gonna be a quick one. Hey, I slept good last night. Now the thing blew around a little bit because it's windy. You can see that from the sun's rise this morning footage. Very windy, but Oh man, this feels good on my hands. Warm the fingers up. But we're gonna get our breakfast started here, but I'm gonna enjoy this coffee, finishing watching the rest of the sunrise. But salute, good morning. Hope we're gonna have a good day. I'm looking forward to it. Now that cowboy coffee, I should have showed you that. That was, I left the kettle out overnight, just sitting on the table. When I took the lid off this morning, it was ice. So it was, we could have had iced coffee. But yeah, this water is ice. It's frozen. It's ice. It fell out of the back of the car, and it was laying on the ground in the morning, so I picked that up. I heard it fall out last night. I kicked it right out the back. So, oh, burn. Man, my finger's cold. All right. So let's get set up for breakfast. I'm getting hungry. And I got a Louisiana crunch cake recipe that I think we're going to do that pineapple upside down cake, but I got Marcion cherries. I don't know how to pronounce it. So we got cherries. So I got to get that out and get that ready to go. All right, bring you on in a second. Yeah. So it's 22 degrees out. So I am going to make breakfast very quick. I don't know if I'm going to do a lot of camera work, but I will tell you what I'm going to do and what ingredients are going in it. Man, I'm finished with the coffee, and we're going to use this cup for our dessert. So let me get this burner fired off again. All right. Oh, that's warm. Warm on my fingers. Yeah. So I'm gonna set our cup on there. So the first thing we're gonna put in there is this is our butter and brown sugar. Look how that froze solid overnight. We're gonna drop that in there and let that kind of melt a little bit. And then we're gonna add our Marcion cherries. So you can see I got those little cherries there. I'm gonna put that juice and stuff in there, and I'm automatically gonna put our pineapples in right away. All right. So there you have that. I'm gonna turn the heat up just a bit. Set this down. All right. Get our titanium spoon and give that a stir. And we're gonna wanna melt that butter. I know it's little, oh, yum. It's gonna be a little bit to melt that. Oh, chop it up with my spoon. Oh, look at that butter. Oh, that is frozen, my goodness. I don't wanna turn the heat up too high because I don't want to burn it on the bottom. So then we got the star of the show, and we're gonna put that right on top here. So let me get that opened up. Okay, the Louisiana crunch cake, and it's frozen too. Man, I'm gonna have to heat this up, but I'm gonna turn this upside down and get that so you can see our mixture on the bottom there. And I'm gonna just drop this, and this fits perfectly right inside of our cup. Push that down. Oh, man. And then we're going to put the lid on, let that steam up there a little bit, and that's going to be ready in like a minute and a half. So get our spoon ready. Oh, because we're going to eat. All right. So I jumped in the car. My hands are frozen. Oh, my gosh. I got this vest. When it's red, it's 145 degrees. So I got that set at 145. I've been sticking my hands inside of it, warming them up. Now you go, oh, Tony, why don't you wear gloves? Because I haven't found any gloves that I can work the camera with and do everything that I need to. A lot of times they're too bulky. But hey, we got our breakfast made. So we're going to eat that in the car. That's that Louisiana crunch cake. Oh, man, with the pineapple upside down cake. Oh, it's steaming. Oh, well, anything would be steaming right now compared to how cold it is, but let's get this focused on the Louisiana crunch cake. Yeah. So that's that brown sugar, butter, pineapple, Marcion cherry. I'm going to give it a taste. Man, is that good. You've got to try it. You have to try it. So this is the quickest way to make an upside down pineapple cake that I have found. And out of all the recipes that I've done with the Louisiana crunch cake, this is number one. This is number one. And adding that cherry to it, that's like the cherry on the top. Man, look at that. Oh, man, is that delicious. Oh, look at that. If you could bite it through the screen, you would. Yep. So, like I said before, if heaven was in a cup, that would be it. Oh. Oh, there's the cherry. There we go. I was hoping to be able to show you that. Oh, look at that. Oh, man. That is a great picture. Oh, I'm going to have to freeze frame that and get a picture of it and blow it up and stick it on my wall in the studio. So, all right, guys. No, I've had a blast. Like I said, it wasn't so much about the stealth camp, but this is an awesome spot. Very colorful with the graffiti on the walls. So it made for a very good video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed making it. Didn't enjoy being cold this morning with my hands, but hey, that's all part of it, right? So I want to say thank you very much. And, I really enjoy the Stealth Camping Alliance. And if you're not a part of the Stealth Camping Alliance, you need to be, right? All right. So, hey, I'm going to get going. I got to tear the back down. That takes like 2 minutes. Stick that in, close the trunk up, because my grandson's got a birthday today, and that's where I'm headed. All right. Well, I will talk to you later, and hey, thanks for coming along. And remember, it's just one adventure at a time. And hey, you have an awesome week. And Tony, wait, score that music. All right. There we go. All righty. So Tony 2.0 out. All right. I'm going to finish this dessert already.